Hey, hi, howdy, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Meal Prep Monday. Today's episode is kind of going to be a little lackluster, if I'm being totally honest with you. So, you're going to get a little bonus two-in-one video. I'm also going to show you guys the protein shakes I've been having recently. Currently, trying to get back into the gym and trying to like work out, lose a little bit of weight. I'm trying to have less calories in a day, more protein. And I have this protein shake that I calculated the protein the first couple of times I've had it. I want to say it's about 68 grams of protein, but it is about 500 calories. However, for 68 grams of protein, that's pretty damn good. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. I personally use this brand. I don't think it really matters. You can use whatever blender bottle you use as long as you have 24 ounces. That's the important thing. And I always like to start off with Greek yogurt. Before, I used to do something that was kind of silly. I would get like plain Greek yogurt, and then I would get like the zero sugar pudding mix to kind of change it up and make it a different flavor. You could just get vanilla. It's not that big of a deal. It's going to add about like 10, 14 grams of sugar, somewhere in that range. But literally, we're just going to do one big spoonful of that vanilla protein mix. We'll actually do just a little bit more as well. And then on top of that, we're also going to go ahead and throw in a spoonful of whatever peanut butter you like. This is the one that I like. I prefer Peter Pan. I think it's a good brand. And on top of that, honey roasted, absolutely fantastic. You're just going to want to do another spoonful. It's going to be another big spoonful. I'll show you how big. Spoon about this big. It's not a very big spoon, but it's a big full spoonful. And that is going to give you a very good, yummy texture. And it's going to give you about another like 7 grams of protein. Very yummy, very delicious. Once again, adds a little bit of sugar. But overall, I want to say this entire thing only has about like 30 grams of sugar or something like that. 30 grams of sugar for 68 grams of protein. Solid. It's okay. It's good. And then from here, you can kind of mix it up. Whatever your preferred protein powder is, you want to do 2 scoops of it because with it being a 24-ounce glass, you're going to want to do double the recommended amount. So I have this chocolate brownie one. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm actually not a fan of it. This Podium brand kind of sucks. If you ever see this Podium brand and you're like, I kind of want to give it a chance, at least their protein, I've had 2 of their different kinds of protein. They both are really, really horrible. But I need to get rid of it because I'm trying to work on using the things that I have before I buy new stuff. So we're just going to do about 2 scoops of that. I'm really bad at getting full scoops, so sometimes I just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It is what it is. I also think I forgot to mention this. You want to throw in your protein ball after you throw in the yogurt and the peanut butter. It's going to make it mix a lot better because if you put the protein ball in the bottom of this and then you put the peanut butter and the yogurt on top, it's going to be really thick. It's going to be really hard to mix it. But then I just top this off with protein almond milk. It's comes with, I want to say it says the bottle will say 8 times protein. And with that one, it's, I want to say, like 8 grams of protein per serving, or it might be even more than that. But either way, you're doing 2 servings of that, so it's going to add another 16. I currently don't have it, so I'm actually just going to do regular milk for this video. But with that protein milk, I'm going to put a picture of it up on the screen. Putting a lot of trust in my future editing self. He loves me. I'm sure he's going to do it. But like I said, with that all combined, you're going to have a protein drink that's about 520 calories. It's going to have about 30 grams of sugar, which is a little high, but give yourself a little sweet treat. You're having it after a workout. It's okay to have some sweetness in your life. And then on top of that, 68 grams of protein, kind of crazy, kind of fun. But what I like to do for this, I will mix it up. And because it's nice and thick, if you throw it in the freezer for about 30 minutes before you have it, it'll literally taste like a milkshake. And it is insanely good, extremely healthy, and I love it. But now, to get to the actual meal prepping part of this video, we're going to be making grilled chicken nuggets. That's my meal prepping for this week. It's very simple, very basic, but because it is something that is as simple as basic, you want to do whatever you can to jazz it up, and what I'm going to be doing is marinating it, and I actually had already done that. So I'm going to take you to a little voiceover Blake, and he's going to go ahead and fill you in the details on what he marinated his chicken with.
Okay, so a couple of rule of thumbs when you are marinating chickens, you're going to want to marinate it for at least an hour. So I'm doing this 3 hours before I'm actually going to be cooking this. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to take your chicken and go ahead and chop it up before you marinate it. That way the marination and whatever you end up using to marinate it can actually really get into all of the individual pieces of chicken and they'll get nice and chopped up. So there's me chopping it up. I threw it in this bag. And now we're going to go ahead and start off with pickle juice. We're just going to use a little bit of this. Then we're going to throw in a decent bit of heavy cream on top of that. Once again, just a little bit, probably around the same amount of pickle juice you used. A little bit of honey because we're going to be making these like sweet and spicy. So we're going to throw in this Better Than Bouillon chipotle powder, and I'm going to show you how much to use because that's very strong. You just want to do a little spoonful like this, and then I'm going to be seasoning it up however I feel. You could use whatever seasonings you want, but these are the ones I personally am using. And then once you have that, you're going to go ahead and seal up this bag and put it in the fridge for a couple of hours until you're ready to cook it.
Wow, that is very captivating. Thank you, future editing Blake. You absolutely crushed it. But now we're going to take our chicken breast, and it has marinated for about 4 hours now, and we're just going to go ahead and cook it on a stove on medium to high heat in a little bit of olive oil, and it's as simple as that. And whenever I do this, I want to try to make sure that I'm not getting all of the liquid on the pan because, truth be told, you're going to make a mess. So you kind of want to drip it out a little bit, but also that is where the flavors come from. So you don't want to drip it out too much that you're like getting chicken that's completely flavorless and bland. And you want to cook these in small batches so that way they're actually getting nice and crispified, as opposed to if you cook them all at once, they're not going to get a nice like actual like sear on the individual nuggets. And I'm also, to making this a little bit more interesting, I'm going to make a protein sauce to go with it because there's a fun one that a lot of people know, which is simple. You just get plain Greek yogurt and then you add in yourself a little bit of ranch seasoning. I'm kind of going to do something kind of inspired by that, but it's going to be my own little sauce concoction. And it's going to be kind of similar to this marinade, if I'm being totally honest with you. But it's going to be yummy and delicious. Alrighty, and this is kind of what they're going to look like. And I know you're looking at it and you're like, Blake, that looks like the most bland, boring, basic chicken ever. But trust me, it's going to be pretty good. It's nice and juicy. It's nice and tender. You don't want to cook it for too long. Chicken breast is the one where if you cook it for too long, it's not going to be as good. So you really want to make sure you're just taking your time and just cooking it nice and slowly. I am going to go ahead and sprinkle on a little bit more paprika and a little bit more garlic powder and kind of toss that around. But for the most part, it's nice, simple, easy, good to go. Now let's make a fun sauce for it, shall we? Okay, so starting off with a bowl, we're gonna get a couple of whopping spoonfuls of Greek yogurt up in here. Something like this, that's actually gonna be about 40 grams of protein right there. Also, wanted to go ahead and show you guys the final product of that chicken. That's what it's gonna look like. Nice and golden. We love it. Absolutely fantastic. But for this, we're gonna start off with that. We're gonna go ahead and throw in a decent bit of mustard, something like that. We're gonna throw in a dash of Worcestershire sauce, a pretty big spoonful of this Better Than Bolivian smoky chipotle, just a little bit of honey on top, and then you got yourself a little sweet, spicy chipotle ranch right there. Now, obviously, you're not going to eat an ungodly amount of sauce. So, honestly, with the amount of chicken nuggets you have, you're probably only actually really only getting an extra like 2 or 3 grams of protein with that. But I mean, you could really sauce this bad boy up. And cheers. And that literally complements the chicken so well. Chicken is literally just chicken. So, plenty of protein there. No carbs or anything with this meal prep. Part of me wanted to make like sweet potato fries or something like that. Honestly didn't really have the time, but this is going to make about 4 servings of grilled chicken nuggets with way too much sauce. I'm going to keep it real with you. I made way too much sauce, but I'm excited. That being said, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm going to quickly give you guys a little glamour shot.
And honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The video and pictures of this is not doing it justice. That is some of the juiciest chicken I've had in a really long time. And that sauce right there is actually pretty damn good. I'm pretty proud of both of these.
But ta-da! That's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. And if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow. Bow. Bow.